Thank you for joining us this evening. I'm Lacey Klontz. Joined with me is Dr. Matt and Deborah St. John, and this is Truth, Health, and Wellness. How are you guys doing?
We're doing awesome.
Good.
We've had a busy day. We've been all over. We're doing radio earlier today. We're doing television tonight. So you'd think we were somebody, but
they're celebrities. They really are.
we just have a handful of people that want to hear what we have to say occasionally, maybe.
Yeah. Well, I know all of our viewers want to hear everything. So if you have a question for Dr. Matt St. John, we are on Facebook, and I will be watching the whole time. Send me a message, and we will ask him. So what have you seen in the clinic this week, mostly?
Mostly this week. Well, what do you think, hon?
Well, a good bit of different things, kind of running a gamut a little bit.
A lot of acid reflux.
Acid reflux, a lot of thyroid stuff. People are really tired, kind of dragging around. And then, we've been dealing with some cancer kind of close to our heart.
Yeah, some folks close to us. We just found out from a friend that they had cervical cancer, and that's what they know of. There's more tests to be ran, but we were very thankful that they reached out to us as fast as they did. And so people are going through a lot these days. A lot of depression. There are a lot of people who are dealing with issues, various issues in their life, and they're dealing with depression. You know, we're in the change of a season, so a lot of people are in kind of a funk with their allergies. They have allergy problems or respiratory problems. They're doing a lot of sniffing and snorting and that sort of thing. So we're actively working against that for a lot of people. I mean, and it's not just that your allergens aren't just the trees and the pollens. There are indoor allergens, and people are putting a lot of stuff on their immune system when they're exposing themselves to like scented candles and Febreze and all these different toxic chemicals in their homes. But then they go outside and they start sniffing and snorting, and they think that that's their problem, when a lot of times it's what's in their house that's actually more of a problem. They're just experiencing with the seasonal things from the pollens and all. But it's allergy problems and immunity. It really begins internally. It begins in our gut, actually. And we talk about probiotics and the importance of probiotics. You told us a story about, I think, tell us the story.
Buttermilk. So I only remember half the story. I'll have to ask my grandfather again, but he was telling me that there was a woman who years ago, I guess she passed away for a second or something. Anyway, she met Jesus and she came back, and one thing Jesus told her was drink buttermilk. And that's just fascinating to me, because last week on the show we were talking about the benefits of buttermilk.
And it was funny too, because what I was talking about was how Tommy Bass, who was my first mentor, Tommy Bass could not have a conversation with you about probiotics and intestinal flora, but he knew that buttermilk would help my allergies because of how it would help my histamine levels. But he just knew the folk remedy of buttermilk. And of course, buttermilk, as we know, contains a multitude of flora and it's beneficial bacterium. So we actually do get beneficial bacteria and probiotics from the buttermilk. So that it's very interesting. Someone has a brush with Jesus, and he of course, if he had said, go to your local health food store and get a probiotic supplement, she probably would have confused her. So he just said, drink buttermilk, and there you go.
I see my grandmother is actually watching right now. Hey, if you could comment that whole story, we really want to know.
We need to hear the whole story. She heard your version of the story, and she's like, no, that's not it. But anyway, so we'll tell the real story later, or the full version maybe.
Yeah.
But it is important. The probiotics we get from things like buttermilk. We get it from fermented foods, like a lot of Asian foods, a lot of your Korean food. Kimchi, for example, is a great source of probiotics. In Asian food, that would be like Japanese food. Your seaweed salad would be an example of a probiotic supplement in the form of plus the seaweed has iodine. Now, my wife hates seaweed salad, but that's okay.
What about the teriyaki chicken?
Well, if you get the seaweed salad on the side, the teriyaki chicken has plenty of sodium, we'll say that, and protein. And a lot of times broccoli, which broccoli is neat because we were eating some broccoli. Actually, last night we went to some Mexican restaurant. I forget, but it's the one over at the Exchange. It's been there for a while, and so we ended up going there because thank you guys, you're open late. And we ordered chicken and rice, which was not go figure. But he said with vegetables, and I said sure. So I said, but no onions. So he brings out the vegetables, and I've never had broccoli with Mexican food
Never.
before?
What?
Have you ever
no,
had broccoli
I
with
can't
Mexican
even.
food?
I
But-
like broccoli, but I can't even think about that.
Well, it was actually good. You guys at I wish I knew the name of that restaurant. It's the one at the Exchange, guys. We'll try to do better, but it was wonderful. It was great.
Lindo?
El
I think so.
Lindo.
Is that
something.
right?
It's something. There's a Lindo in there
Yeah, I
somewhere.
think so.
They're open really late. The inside of the restaurant is beautiful. I mean, the place.
It's very pretty.
Yeah, it's really nice. So anyway, we ate and it was great. And you know what? Broccoli's amazing. Broccoli has some really interesting constituents. And did you know broccoli's not actually it's not an original vegetable? God didn't make broccoli. Broccoli didn't just form. Somebody didn't just walk into a garden and see broccoli growing. Broccoli was created. It's a version.
Really?
It's a version of cauliflower. It's a hybrid of cauliflower, but it's really neat because it's excellent for women. It's really good for women's health. It helps with estrogen metabolism.
Really?
Yeah, but not just women, men too, but with women especially. We get a supplement called DIM, D-I-M, and DIM is actually derived from cruciferous vegetables, in particular broccoli. And broccoli has DIM. DIM helps, you know how women a lot of times are prescribed tamoxifen when they have breast cancer? It's an estrogen blocker. And so a lot of times women have too much estrogen. A lot of times men have too much estrogen. If you're watching the Subaru commercial, you just tear up. You might have too much estrogen. So getting that estrogen where it needs to be will help prevent cancer, especially breast cancers and all kinds of other things. So women who take this DIM or who eat broccoli have been shown to have a much lower incidence of breast cancer than other women.
So that's one way to prevent cancer.
There you go.
What
You
are
know,
some other?
cruciferous vegetables?
What are
Broccoli.
some other ways people
Oh.
could prevent? Maybe.
To prevent cancer. Okay. To prevent cancer, do nothing the media says to do. And if the media says to not do it, you should do it. The food pyramid.
True story.
Okay, the food pyramid that we were taught, us Gen Xers and whatnot, the food pyramid, okay, take it and flip it upside down, and now it's correct. The grains and all that stuff that they say we need to be eating the most of, those are the things that will kill you and cause cancer. If you want cancer, you should eat Honey Nut Cheerios. Did you hear me? I didn't say if you don't want cancer. I said if you do want cancer. Because you have over 900 parts per billion of glyphosate per serving in this garbage that they're selling at Whole Foods Grocery. I thought that was kind of interesting. Whole Foods Grocery, you would think would be a healthy place, right? Whole Foods Grocery. But they're not. They actually have a brand called what, 365? And so they have this private label. And every product that's tested of their 365 organic private label ends up having pesticides in them. And most of them are organic to begin with. So you can't
Wow.
trust these megacorps. Who owns Whole Foods Grocery? Who owns it?
Bezos, right?
Bezos, right?
Really?
Who owns basically Bezos and Co., which would be Amazon and Prime and all these different things. Well, it's, guess what? Vanguard BlackRock, who happen to be the owners of almost everything on the earth. So these megacorps that are owned by these Vanguard BlackRocks of the world, they're buying up as many companies as they can. They're buying up all the food companies. They're buying up the agribusiness. They're buying up, the Monsanto, Bayer, et cetera. Your food companies are working in cahoots with the drug companies because most of the same companies are owned by the same entities, which would be Vanguard and BlackRock. It'll blow your mind the more you research it. But growing up in a grocery family, we've really learned a lot. But we've talked before about how we had pantries full of chips and snacks and all the various things. But if you want to avoid cancer, one of the best things you could do would be to avoid the grocery store as much as possible.
Wow.
Yeah, and that's hard to do. You're going to get your eggs from the local little old lady down the street, your meat from the local cattle rancher.
Plant a garden in your
Plant a
yard.
garden, right. Go to markets, go to farmers markets in the area and do the best that you can.
Ooh,
tough.
I have an allergy question.
Oh, that's a big allergy question.
That is. Lately, my allergies have been quite severe. Usually what I'll do is take a certain allergy pill, such as Zyrtec D, for a few weeks, then change to a different brand, such as Allegra. I know if you stick to the same type of brand, your body will eventually build up a tolerance to it, making it less effective. But still, my allergies have been bad. I recently heard that taking local organic honey could also help with allergies. What are your thoughts on that, and how often should I take that local honey if
Okay.
recommended? Thank you for your question.
Great question.
Thanks.
And local honey is really interesting. The concept and the beliefs is that obviously, how do you get local honey? Well, the honey is obtained by the bees, produced by the bees, along with beeswax and what else is it? We have bee propolis and bee pollen, and these various things are found
was
in
that
the hive.
other one?
Bee propolis, bee pollen, bee propolis, and all these are found within the hive of the bees. you know.
Okay.
So these bees go out and they pollinate, and they run around to different flowers in the region and they obtain pollen. Now, I don't mean to be a Debbie Downer here. My name's not Debbie anyway, but they're asking about local bee pollen being healthy for you.
Honey.
Local honey. I'm sorry. Do you really trust our environment in this region? That's the question. So local honey would be good because, and the reason they're saying is that basically, the concept is these pollens are in nanoparticles are found in the honey. So if you're consuming honey that's local to you, you're also consuming supposedly nanoparticles, which should be working homeopathically to make your body have a response that should be sort of a hyperimmune or a hypoimmune response, so that when you have contact with these pollens in the future, you won't have such a strong response. That's the theory, and it seems to work. But the problem that I have is, do you really want to be consuming the pollens of the plants in our particular region?
No.
That's something you need to consider. So that's something for folks. Now here's the other thing. There's plenty of things that you can do for your allergies. We've already talked about probiotics and how they help with balancing the histamine levels, but also balancing your liver enzymes. Balancing your liver tends to help. Well, the liver and histamine are correlated completely, and so the two working on the liver and doing a quick little liver cleanse, and that's what in Chinese herbal medicine they'll always do, is the quick little liver cleanse, which is not like going to the bathroom all the time or doing a colon cleanse. It's just a simple like milk thistle extract that people take for a few weeks before the springtime comes, but it will help to sort of modulate how much you are affected by these pollens and allergens. There's a lot that you can do, but mainly through the liver and through probiotics. And once again, that's the reason a lot of these Allegras and Zyrtecs, they only work for a short time, and then your body gets accustomed to them because of your immune system. The best thing to do is to beat it completely through probiotics, through liver cleanses, and through things like yerba santa, yerba mate, botanicals that help you have less of a extreme reaction to those pollens. Like our Allercare. We have a product called Allercare that works really well. But you shouldn't have to take Allercare once again unless you haven't really cleansed your liver and aren't consuming enough probiotics.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, so local honey, yes or no?
I don't know. That's a good question. We actually,
personal decision,
it's a
really.
personal decision. You
Okay.
basically have to say, do I want to consume honey that's harvested in my region? Do I trust my region enough with the environment to consume local honey?
Do we though? Because last week we were talking about how there's so much in the environment that can
The
trigger
four
your
EPA Superfund sites within a 10-mile
exactly.
radius
Yeah.
here.
Well, and you also have to be sure that whoever isn't spraying anything.
Yeah.
Within a certain area of those hives.
That's getting in the honey. And then you've also got the idea of the honey with the glucose spikes compared to plants
True.
that aren't as sweet.
As sweet, right. I think we got a
Right.
commercial later on.
Well, thank you. Yep, we do. So we will be right back here on Truth, Health, and Wellness. Stay tuned.
You may not believe it, but it's true. The 2024 Team 1 Chevys are here. All 23-24 Silverado light duties have 2.9% financing for 72 months. The hottest new 24 Team 1 Chevy Blazer, 1.9% financing and no payments till April. And the #1 selling family vehicle, the Equinox. 24 models, you got it. 1.9% financing and no payments till April. Team 1 Chevrolet, home of the best people, the best service, period.
Some say college isn't for single parents or people who work full-time. I'm here to prove them wrong. I'm a first-generation American, the father of Dion, and a non-traditional student at Gadsden State Community College. As a sergeant in the Army National Guard, I've watched soldiers with degrees progress faster in their careers. So today, I'm in school, involved in the Veterans Upward Bound program, and excited to see what's in store for my career. I truly am earning my wings at Gadsden State.
I'm Alan Parnell with Parnell Insurance Agency. We've been here in Oxford and Alabama, Tallapoosa, Georgia since 1990. With Auto Owners Insurance, we're able to give customers competitive pricing along with excellent coverages. Parnell Insurance can handle all of your personal, commercial, and life insurance needs. We have a very experienced staff, both personal and commercial. All together, we've got about 125 years experience. Come see what our insurance agency can do for you in Oxford, Alabama, and Tallapoosa, Georgia.
Auto Owners Insurance.
At Campers Unlimited, we offer a no-pressure experience, no hidden fees, and great service after the sale, making us one of the fastest-growing RV dealers in the Southeast. With our second location in Oxford, we offer a great selection of over 220 campers from top brands, including Grand Design. Our mission is to help friends and family spend time together in the great outdoors. At Campers Unlimited, you aren't just a customer, you are family. Check out our inventory at campersunlimited.net or come see us at Gaston or Oxford.
Welcome back to Truth, Health, and Wellness. I'm here with Dr. Matt and Deborah St. John. Are we on? We're on.
We're on.
So anyway, before the break, we were talking about allergies, we were talking about cancer. Now, we were discussing how to prevent cancer. You mentioned broccoli?
We mentioned broccoli. That was just a quickie, but there, you know, talking about preventing cancer, our lives are surrounded by carcinogens. These are things that give us cancer. Our water, especially in this region, is full of PFOAs, PFOAs, and all kinds of other plastics and chemicals. You can actually look and drinking water, contaminated drinking water across the United States, and you can find the maps, and you can look and you can see for yourself. So be careful. Filter your water. That's one of the first things. Get a zero water filter or something similar, a reverse osmosis, something that gets rid of the chemicals, not just viruses and bacteria, but the chemicals. Put yourself on a diet that's healthy. You know, that's one of the things. I mean, obviously, what's a healthy diet? Well, it's the opposite of what most people do. If you wake up in the morning and skip breakfast, have a cup of coffee, grab a biscuit at Jack's, go to work, participate with whatever work is until 12 o'clock, go out and have, a salad or whatever, some sort of sandwich or whatever, then not eat until, dinner time, eat a meat and 3, have a snack and go to bed. That type of a diet and lifestyle will eventually, catch up with you. And so, you look like you might be a little scared about that. What we need to do is we need to wake up and we need to have a balanced breakfast. We need to have a smoothie, we need to have a protein smoothie at a minimum, but it'd be better to have some eggs and maybe some turkey sausage or bacon, some grits, if you can find some organic grits. Those types of meals where you get up and you eat. If you eat between 20 and 30 grams of protein in the morning first thing, it programs your metabolism to burn fat. It programs your metabolism to use the protein to replenish and rejuvenate your muscles, to give you lean muscle, and it allows you to get started with a good satiety. You have better glucose, your blood sugar is better, your memory is better, your thoughts are better, your immune system works better, and it's just clinically proven that you need to get up and eat within 30 minutes of waking up.
Let me ask you this. We were also talking a little bit about acid reflux. You've been saying that a lot this week.
Right.
What about the people who can't just jump up and eat as soon as they get up because of their stomach issues?
Well, that goes back to the probiotics. We need to get our guts healthy. And the reason someone even has acid reflux to start with is because they've been hurting themselves through their diet, through their lifestyle for years. Or they may have actually had some sort of brush with a medication that caused them to have some sort of problem or side effect.
So it's not genetic?
Acid reflux is not really genetic. There are some issues in your digestive tract that can be hereditary, but for most people, acid reflux is a result of poor diet, poor lifestyle, lack of nutrition. Yeah, and that could be with anyone. It's a common thing now. We use yellow root tea. You ever heard of yellow root?
I have not.
There's a shrub that's really kind of just indigenous to our area and up in Tennessee, and it's called yellow root. And you actually don't use the root, go figure. It's the stick. If you take the stick, they grow along creeks, and if you take and sort of slice the stem, you'll see it's very yellow. The reason it's very yellow is because it has an active ingredient called berberine. Berberine is amazing to help with acid reflux. It actually kills H. pylori, so most people use it for stomach ulcers. It can get rid of a stomach ulcer like that. So a lot of people use the yellow root tea. They use it for all kind of inflammatory issues and for glucose problems, because berberine's been shown to help with glucose problems as well. But once again, you're talking about, what do I need to be doing to prevent cancer? Well, things like yellow root can help a lot, because the berberine has been shown to be anti-carcinogenic. I mean, it helps to repair the blood-brain barrier from damage that can happen through pesticides and herbicides use. And it helps to kill, once again, the H. pylori and a lot of the bacterium that causes a lot of our problems in our gut. So those can help out a ton, just doing some yellow root or some sort of other berberine type supplement.
Or fire cider.
Or fire cider. Miss Firesider over here. We have a lot of folks on the fire cider now, and it's amazing. And tell us about the fire cider.
Well, it's an apple cider vinegar tonic that has a whole bunch of stuff in it, like onion, garlic, rosemary, oregano, thyme, orange, lemon, black peppercorn, cinnamon, so much stuff. Turmeric, horseradish.
Oh, it's amazing.
Ginger.
And so she pours me a shot of this stuff all the time. I look around, there's a little cup, and it'll have the fire cider in it. And I take a shot of it. And of course, she never gives me water for some reason. She has to watch me squirm a little
Sounds
bit.
delicious.
Well, it actually is good. It has
Is it really?
Yeah, it has a neat taste to it. So yeah, the fire cider has a neat taste. It's a really cool tonic to use. It's a neat tonic at the change of seasons too. So sort of as a spring tonic, like what we're entering into now, it's great. So
it's incredible for acid reflux, indigestion. It's great for digestion. If you take a shot in the morning before breakfast, it'll help you get everything calmed down to be able to eat.
And actually, you were dealing with a little bit of reflux a couple of weeks, well, maybe 3 or 4 weeks ago. And after we got the fire cider going, it completely eradicated.
Totally gone.
Wow.
So there you go, fire
And
cider.
it's anti-tumor fighting, so it's also good for preventing cancer.
Yeah, it's anti-carcinogenic.
What does it taste like?
Well, it's a little sour.
Like apple cider vinegar.
Like if you think of apple cider vinegar, but it's not as sour since it's been fermented. But it's a little spicy, and then it goes away pretty quick. So it's a neat little refresher. It'll wake you up and get you moving.
Absolutely.
Oh, so that can replace your coffee if it wakes you up.
Yeah, a little bit.
Oh, goodness. Okay, so now what are some other ways to prevent cancer?
Ignore the TV. That we had talked about that before. There's so many things that people are getting wrong about nutrition and about wellness in general. Avoid things like unnecessary shots that contain ingredients that you don't know what they might be. If you don't want cancer, stay away from things that you don't understand.
Ingredients.
If you want to avoid cancer, don't spray the algae in the lake that might kill all the fish and kill half the people that are around it. Maybe do a natural use natural pesticides, natural herbicides, natural. You can get natural even Walmart. During COVID, we kept going into Walmarts, and a lot of people can remember this. You would go into Walmart and you would smell a smell that smelled like thyme or maybe oregano. It would be kind of a pungent smell. So we'd go in. So finally, we were at the Center Walmart one day, and the young lady was in the maintenance room, and I asked her. I said, "What on earth are you guys using here in Walmart to that smells like this, and why are you using it?" And she showed me, and it was nothing but thyme, the essential oil of thyme, THYME. The essential oil of thyme is amazing, and it had oregano too. Didn't it have oregano?
I think it was just Tylenol.
I think it was Tylenol. But anyway, it was amazing, and because they were using it to prevent COVID, to prevent the spread of COVID. They'd spray it on their buggies, spray it all in their lobby, and you'd smell like it. So it was really cool to hear that Walmart, the largest
I'm surprised.
store in the whole world, that what they chose to use for their COVID prevention was 100% natural.
Instead of cancer-causing chemicals.
Which
are also in deodorants, scented candles, perfumes with artificial smells. All that stuff you should stay away from.
Imagine this. Imagine how bad it is for your propensity for breast cancer as a woman to use aluminum-containing and chemical-containing deodorants right next to the lymph nodes that are right there near your breast. And that's something that's a constant and a common problem. So we have so many people who are using these chemicals. They're giving themselves cancer because of chemical toxicity, and whether it be their water, their food, or what have you. People talk all the time about the environment. And it's like, well, the environment is very important, but most people don't even consider their home environment and getting it straight and getting it cleaned up before they deal, with other aspects of their environment. Get your home clean. Of course, that's sort of a good thing, period, for people. Before you start preaching to other people about the world and everything else, you might need to get your own house cleaned up. But it does. Cancer begins, I believe, in most people's guts, and I believe that cancer begins in most people's homes.
What about parasites?
Oh my gosh. Well, there's a significant population of wellness practitioners that believe that most cancers are actually caused by parasites. Yeah, so that gets a little wild. And we know that parasites can cause cancer and do cause cancer clinically, but the concept that they have is that abnormal tissue growth begins normally with some sort of parasitic infestation. Isn't that spooky?
Ooh,
Yeah, he was right.
that sounds, oof.
Yeah, and so pathogens are important, and to get rid of pathogens, there are so many. I mean, we have parasite cleanses. We have, and everyone. I don't. If you're listening, if you're watching, then you've had parasites. Sorry, they come in many different forms. You have, all. Let's talk about some of the parasites. Tapeworm.
Parasites, yeah, you got tapeworms, you got round worms, you got pinworms, you got flatworms, you got
More than one
you got external parasites
Yep.
like lice and ticks and things,
Yeah.
fleas
Fleas.
that can give you just eat a flea and you'll have a tapeworm.
Why
Did
would
you know
eat
that-
a flea?
You wouldn't
don't
need
even
to.
know.
You wouldn't need
Oh,
to.
that's
So let's
right.
imagine this. Imagine this. You're laying in bed, right? Your little kitty cat sleeps right beside you in the bed. Your cat picks up a flea from its buddy during the day, and that flea at night jumps off that cat, jumps on you, and at some point just jumps in your mouth while you're sitting there drooling in your sleep. And that flea jumps in your mouth. Well, what's wild is if that flea were to bite you, even though that flea has a tapeworm parasite within it, that flea's not going to give you the tapeworm parasite. However, if that flea jumps in your mouth, you will get a tapeworm. You will get a tapeworm.
Sleep with your mouth closed.
Yeah, keep your mouth closed if you're sleeping with animals. That's a good idea. But there's so many ways to get parasites. You can get parasites just by walking barefoot. People talk about earthing, how important it is to just
I've
go
heard of that,
barefoot.
yeah.
Go barefoot, man. It's great. Well,
It's
that's
gross.
Go barefoot, man. It's great. It depends. I mean, if you're going barefoot through a PCB-infested lake and down the river, then it's not great. But if you're going barefoot and you don't have any parasites and you're walking, but what most people do is they just use what they call earth shoes. I'm wearing earth shoes. They just have very thin insoles, and they call it grounding and whatnot, and it's supposed to make everything work better and make your body healthier. The issue is, though, is that going barefoot can cause you to have parasitic infestations, and that's not a cool thing.
Well, just eating, medium rare steak
Yep.
can give you a parasite.
Absolutely. And so Sushi can definitely
Can
give you
give you a
parasites.
parasite.
And oh my goodness! And of course, some of these folks have seen TikTok videos that are traumatizing, and you can watch a video. I saw a video of a strawberry the other day, and they're like, "Here's what a strawberry looks like if you don't wash it."
Oh, I've
There's
seen
worms
those.
crawling on it, and they're like, "But here's what the strawberry looks like after you wash it." And so then they take and they cut the strawberry, and all the worms are on the inside. It's like, oh great.
Is
So,
all that true?
some of it? It just depends on what you're washing it with and where they've been.
Where you got your
And
strawberries from,
organic
too,
does not
yeah.
mean pesticide free, or
course not.
does not mean parasite free, I should say. In other words, just because it's organic doesn't mean it doesn't have worms crawling all over it. Matter of fact, it's more
Probably
likely
has more worms
to
on
have
it.
more on it because
Absolutely.
it has less chemical treatment.
Right.
So it's important for people to wash your vegetables, wash your produce, clean those things. And then as far as internally, we have anti-parasitics. We just started an anti-parasitic cleanse. It's not fun. It's not that, the herbs don't taste good, but they're good. And what we're using right now is Paraclean, which is a combination. It's a 3-part formula with wormwood or artemisia, cloves, and black walnut hulls, which are really green, black walnut hulls. But that formula has been just tremendous. It's been used for centuries upon centuries.
All right. Well, now we've only got about a minute left. So you're located on Snow Street
Yeah,
here in
we're-
Oxford. And
behind the Quintard Mall.
how often are you there? What are the hours?
Well, we're Monday through Saturday, 9:30 until 5:30.
5:30.
Except on Saturday we close at 5.
They're usually there till a little later.
They're normally there till 5:30. And if you need us to stay a little later, call us.
Call us.
If
We're
you-
always willing.
Yeah, and one of the ways people can reach us is on Facebook. If you go to our page, you can ask us any questions after hours. We answer. We have a few people that answer that, and it always ends up coming to me. So we invite people just to come see us and give us a shout, because we're here to help you, and it doesn't matter where you're from, what you believe, what color you are, how much money you have. We don't care about any of that. We really don't. So we'll help everyone.
Well, You do great things for the community. So go see them. All right, well, we will be here next Thursday night here on Truth, Health, and Wellness. Again, I'm here with Dr. Matt and Deborah St. John. Have a great night, everyone.